what you have when you're a young undergraduate is a lot of curiosity and a lot of charm, and you often are not aware of that, but the people around you, they love this young, energetic, enthusiastic energy that young people bring, right? Hi guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Onushwa and I am the average Indian millennial. So I've come back today with a very interesting video. So I get a lot of questions from a lot of juniors, relatives, kids in the industry or in any field who've just come out of college or just on their way to finishing school. The question is that should I take up that internship? So I'm here today to solve that question and hopefully give you enough reasons why you should say yes to that internship that you've been spotting and continue learning more from. The brand isn't big enough, should I still take up their internship? So to answer all these questions, most of the time the answer is going to be yes, take up that internship. I'm in no way promoting that you should take up unpaid internships. Personally, I'm also not for unpaid internships. At least an internship should be able to reimburse all your costs to travel to the office, to come back, for your food, transport, etc. But in general, I would say avoid unpaid internships. But we all need to collectively get out of this mind space that we can only intern for big companies or big brands. It really doesn't matter. Of course, I mean, a big brand will always look great on your CV, but a lot of smaller companies are also open to hiring people with less experience, number one. And number two, if you make it up with more internships from multiple companies, it sort of weighs down to the same. Point number one, why you should not say no to that internship, which is learning on the job. So, you know the food chain. We've all studied environmental science, so we all know the food chain. And if you look at the pyramid or the chain, interns are always at the bottom of the food chain. So interns always, like from my internship days and from a lot of other friends of mine who've shared their experiences with me, I can tell you that interns always get stuck with a lot of the operational or logistics work or trash work, as it's often called, which nobody else wants to do. So most of the reason why you've been hired for that internship is also because other people are too busy and their work is too important to be able to concentrate on this quote unquote less important work right now. But of course, it's essential. And remember, that is the work that has gotten you this opportunity to work for this company. So don't be disheartened and think that it's trash work. It's a matter of how you deal with that work and how well you do that simple task that counts as an intern, right? So even if it's a very small task, like basically, say numbering the items, so we don't lose things, we maintain it in a proper order, consider it to be your own personal work and take it up with the same enthusiasm as you would any other work. uh, what you have when you're a young undergraduate is a lot of curiosity and a lot of charm, and you often are not aware of that, but the people around you, they love this young, energetic, enthusiastic energy that young people bring, right? Which is you, right? The person watching this video. So don't forget to the idea is to leave an impression behind all of these people about you that wants to make them keep going back to you whenever they have any simple task. The most flexible thing I would say about being an intern, which is why learning on the job is such a big point, is that you get to basically try working in every department. If you're done with your simple task or you feel like something's not going to happen today and the task's been pushed to tomorrow, as a smart, bright intern, your duty would be to go to your reporting boss or any character you find really interesting in the office. Maybe somebody is a little more talkative than the others who are maybe more quiet. Go and ask them what they do. I mean, it's great. You can go and ask them if they need any help or assistance with any bigger project that they are doing. So this is how you learn, of course, more about what the company you're working for or interning for does, and also about what you like and what you don't like. And trust me, no learning and no knowledge goes to waste in this life. Like, I have learned so many random skills in my internship which I still use, maybe not professionally, but it gets to be used in my personal life. So no questions about saying no, because you will be learning on the job. Okay. So, coming to the second point, I've written this word 3 times in my diary, and it's networking, networking, networking. Okay, so your internship is actually your almost, if it's your first internship, then it's your first exposure to people or peers or seniors from the same field of work. So ideally, you want to intern in a company that does the kind of business or that is in the trade that you want to be a part of, right? So if you want to be, say for example, an engineer, you want to go and intern in a company that works in engineering, right? So what happens is all of these people that you're meeting at your office could turn around to be your new boss. You need to be you need to be on your best, and you need to impress them, because these are the people who could be your future colleagues, who could refer you to the next company they join, who could even refer you to that company where you're working to get you a better stipend, to increase your internship, to do a lot of more better projects that they might be involved in. So remember that networking is key, and in a lot of cases, suppose you're interning for a smaller brand, the people working in that brand might be even better than the company. Trust me, this is a huge learning I have. It's also how you treat them that is really important, right? And just remember that people skills will be put to the test when you're interning, and networking is honestly not just in the media but in any field extremely important, because it builds your balance and your network into the industry. Okay, these are your peers, they are your biggest example of what to do at work, and sometimes even what not to do at work, right? So coming to point number 3, I'm sure a lot of people hate this word, but it's extremely important. The word I'm looking at is exposure. Okay, the third biggest reason why you should not say no to that internship and grab it at the opportunity is exposure. What kind of exposure? Exposure to the industry that is relevant to your work. If you've gotten an internship that is at a place which is relevant to your work, like I gave you the example of an engineer, then you should definitely consider the learnings also be to be the exposure to that industry. What kind of people work in that industry, what other businesses work associated to that industry, what kind of vendors do they have in that particular company, what is the kind of age bracket in the company, what are the bigger brands they work with. All of this is exposure to senior members who come from other companies to meet you or meet your bosses at your internship firm is also a great way of getting exposure. And not only exposure, this exposure also gives you an edge over a lot of other people who have not interned at that company. So all the time you spend there is not time wasted but a time earned in terms of exposure, right? Very, very important. Okay, number 4. Okay, this is my favorite point, and I bring it up in every video that I'm doing clearly, and that is self awareness. Okay, self awareness is a key skill in life which you learn, I mean, about yourself till the day you die. Okay, so why is it so important? Because it answers a lot of questions which you might not be able to answer on your own, right? So when you intern, a question you could ask and learn about yourself is, am I a people person? Do I like interacting with people? Or am I somebody who would be happier at home doing a remote job, right? This is one big awareness you can learn about yourself. Second, am I really good at the skill I came here for? Or is there some particular department here that I never considered, which is actually really interesting to me? So am I more qualitatively inclined? Am I more quantitatively inclined? Am I more interested in business? Am I more interested in sales? What you can do is ask yourself this question when you're interning, that am I in the right place? Okay. Not enough credit is given to people asking this question, and it's extremely important because we're really existential people. We don't always like where we are. We have a lot of we have a million thoughts in my head, guys. So that's why I'm saying that it's important to sit and take your internship as a learning experience about yourself. Sit and do a SWOT analysis. In this internship, what were my strengths? What were my weaknesses? What are the opportunities I'm getting because I did this internship or while I'm in this internship? And what are the threats that I am facing myself? Is my introversion causing me problem in talking to more people? And just remember that as an intern, you're allowed to make mistakes. Once you start on the job, this whole permission of making mistakes really tends to disappear after a point. The older you are, the more experienced you are, the space of making mistakes reduces, which is extremely high when you're an intern, because even if you mess up, there will be somebody to hold your hand and help you and get out of that situation, because they've quite possibly done it before and they know how else to deal with it. But you need to take that, because the real world out there isn't all rainbows and flowers, right? It's a tough world. But what an internship does, as I was talking about in exposure, is that it gives you like a big reality check, right? It's not into books anymore. This is the real world. This is where you'll be working. These are the kind of colleagues you'll be meeting. These are the kind of friends you'll be making in the future. So do not underestimate the amount of self-awareness or the amount of I know myself now skills that you can get out of your internship. Okay, coming to the last and the most important point, which is the weight on your curriculum vitae, okay, or your CV. So, in such a competitive market, right, an internship can often set you apart from your peers. If you're, if you're a student in college and you've been able to manage your time and you can intern, and often colleges will give you permission to intern if you get an internship and you give them a letter and say that, hey, I want to do this internship. If you could allow me to miss these classes, or if you can give me attendance for these classes, and I'll give you proof that I was at work at that time. Because even a college, especially in India, even a college's intention is to give you placement, to make sure that you get a job at the end of the term. It is extremely important because it really adds weight to your CV. According to a lot of surveys done in the United States, they have said that 81% of students who did internships felt that it was extremely useful to them while in college, right? People who had an average of 3 internships in their college life ended up getting bigger packages than those who didn't. Because what does a seasoned intern have? They've proved that they can work in any circumstance. They have proved that they can take up any job, no matter how small or big. They've proved that they can sell themselves into a market where there are already enough people, right? So you're positioning yourself, you're creating your own niche by creating your own CV, right? And it doesn't matter if it's a small company, it's a big company. What you're doing is that you're adding skills, right? Skills and talents, new technical skills that you have picked up while you were an intern. But it's extremely important to know what kind of people will you be working with. Another very important question is, while you're weighing your CV, you can also maybe think that, hey, I interned for example, a news agency, but I really don't see myself fitting into a news agency. I don't like that environment. I feel like it's too fast paced. So you might have to rethink about where you want to go. Is it more of let's say maybe more of a digital journalism that you want to follow? Do you want to be a writer who works from home? I'm just giving you an example. The idea is that you should get yourself out there, you should apply for the internship, you should take it if you get it. Please try to avoid unpaid internships. Tell them that you deserve the money or reimbursement. So, to do a little lowdown on the 5 reasons why you should not say no, or you should say yes to that internship. Number one is learning on the job. Everywhere you intern, every day you spend there, you've learned things about the business that you didn't know about. Number two was networking, networking, networking. You're going to meet a lot of people, you're going to talk to those people, you're going to learn a lot from them, and they might be in your life for a very long time, okay? Because every market generally has a fixed number of people who are working there for a long time, right? Number three is exposure. Exposure not only to this field of business, exposure to different kinds of people in different designations, exposure to the market, exposure that your work will now see the light of day, right, in a professional environment. That's a huge deal. All of these things make up the third reason. The fourth reason is self-awareness and self-confidence, right? It tells you about yourself. You learn whether you're in the right place, whether you're in the right industry, or whether you feel like a complete misfit there, okay? A second internship might change your mind, but that is what self awareness is all about. It's about knowing and being able to take a step back and reflect on where you are, and if you are where you want to be. And the last and most important point, especially in today's job market, is that it adds tremendous value to your CV. So remember, guys, do not say no to that internship. Try to get a paid internship. No brand is too small. You are your own brand. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So, all right, just remember that everyone's weird in a unique way, and everyone's unique in a weird way. Till next time, bye.